Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back and ready for this mindful movement session here today. As always, through these sessions, just do the best that you can do. If there's anything that you can't do, struggle with, or can't do to the full range of ability, or whatever it may be, remember, just do the best you can. If you need to take any breaks at any point, that's more than perfectly fine with doing that. Like, this is your session. I'm just here to guide you the best I can through it. So just do what you can. That's all we can ask from you from this. But first of all, let's get ourselves in a nice comfortable position, however that looks for yourself. If you need to wiggle into your seat or whatever it is. And we start with some nice deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and continue that breathing there. And over the next couple of breaths, when you're ready to, let's just close down the eyes and bring that focus inwards into the breathing, coming in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relaxing into where you are. Nice, deep, slow breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you do so, notice how that breath feels as you breathe in. Notice your lungs fill up, your chest expand. And as you breathe out, notice how the shoulders relax down as the air comes out. And just notice that cycle as you're doing it. Good. Keep the breathing going, but now we should be in a much more relaxed state already. And we've brought that focus inwards. That's good. Let's just remind ourselves that often the hardest thing about these sessions is turning up, especially turning up week after week after week. So thank yourself for being here today, especially if you're being consistent with your movement or any type of training that you're doing. Thank yourself for being here. Remind yourself this is a good thing for yourself, your body, your movement, and your goals. Also remind ourselves that it's important to stay focused during these sessions. If you find yourself wandering with your mind at any point, just remember just to bring it back in. Notice it. It's perfectly fine that your mind does wander. It's quite easy for that to happen. But what we want to do is learn to bring ourselves back in line. The mind is always going to wander and be distracted. The key is to learn to notice it and bring it back in line to what you need to be focused on. Yeah, keep that breathing going, and as you do so, just sit up nice and tall. Keeping the eyes closed for now still, just nice deep breathing, sitting up nice and tall. Almost imagine there's a string going through the top of your head and it's pulling you upwards as you breathe in. And it's just relaxing off a little bit as you breathe out. Yeah, when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And as we're doing the breathing now, we're going to shrug the shoulders up. And as we breathe out, we're going to relax them back down. And just repeat through that, shrugging up as you breathe in, relaxing down as you breathe out. And notice how that feels as well as you're doing it. As you bring those shoulders up, feel that squeeze, that tightness in the shoulders as you do so. And as you breathe out, try and relax it down. Feel the tension loosen as you do so. And repeat through. Yeah, we're going to do the same, but instead of coming up and down, we're going to go forwards and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Push them forwards, squeeze them back. And just repeating through that there. Breathe in, squeeze back. Breathe out, push forwards. We can return our breathing to normal now, but as we do so, let's just do some shoulder rotations. Getting them moving, getting them flowing here. Yeah, keep that going. I'm just going to come back around to the front. And let's change direction, go in the opposite way now. And again, just a nice range of motion here with these shoulder rotations. And this is going to help to just mobilize everything in that shoulder joint. Okay, let's take it a little bit further. Bring our hands onto there. And then rotating around. So they don't have to lock in place the hands. They can sort of glide around the shoulders here. But we're going to get those elbows going around in a nice circle there. That's it. Good work. Nice circles. Rotating around the best that you can. And now let's change direction and go the opposite way with this. If you need to as well, you can always do the single arm, alternating, or just both together. Good. Let's take it one step further again. Let's take one arm, just a nice big circle round. Keep it nice and controlled. For those who come to the cardio sessions, we do this, but we just swing the arm around. With this, do it more slow, controlled movements as we go around. You might feel some clunkiness in the shoulder as you're doing so. That is perfectly normal, as long as it's not causing us any pain. That's good. Let's change direction and go the other way. Nice big circles there. Good amount of stretch as you're bringing it around with that good range of motion. Let's change over to the other side. That's it. If you can't get that full circle on this, don't worry about it. Just get the best you can. If it's with a bent arm, if it's smaller, that's absolutely fine. Just doing the best that you can do. Like I said in the beginning, whatever you can do is what we want from you. Let's change direction and go the opposite way. Good. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a stretching bits now. We're going to reach over to one side. Going to hold it there for 1, 2, 3. Then we bring it down and then over to the other side. And again, holding it for 1, 2, 3. I'll let you count as we go back and forth, but counting roughly somewhere between sort of 3 and 5 seconds. So if you feel like you want to hold it a little bit longer, that's fine. And then go over to the other side. Just back and forth. If you can't bring the arm all the way up and over like so, then what we do is just come up the best we can. If that's coming across at sort of face height, if it's coming across at chest height, that's absolutely fine. Just reaching over and reaching up the best you can as well. So don't worry if it's like this or like this or like this, whatever you can do here. Sit, nice. All right, let's ease it down into the middle now. On this one, we're going to bring both arms back, stretch across the front of the chest there, and then we're going to reach one arm forwards, bringing it back, and then reach the other arm forwards. So the stretch here comes from opening up that chest as you bring both his arms up. That stretches across the front here, maybe even a little bit in the front of the shoulders. And as you reach forwards, I want you to push that shoulder forwards in the joint and then bring it back. So almost like you're not just putting your arm forwards, but you're reaching for something just out of your reach and you feel a bit of a stretch down the back there. Great work, everybody. Let's keep that going a little bit longer here. Good. Okay, we're going to go into some rotator cuff stretch now. I'm going to do it from the side to begin with, but we bring the arms up. Actually, I'll come to the front to begin with. Arms up like so, and then we bring them down, and then we bring them up. And we go back and forth between those two movements. Then we come to the side as well, so you can see it from there. So elbows are up, we come back, get the stretch in there, and then bring it forward and get a stretch, but a smaller stretch usually at the bottom. We go back and forth between the two. And if you're struggling with that, we can bring the elbows down and do it out and in the front as well. So you can do it lower down if you are struggling with that one as well. Good. Let's just do some shoulder rotations just to ease out of that there. Change direction. Good work. Okay, we're going to go through our neck mobility now. So just nice and easy looking up and down to begin with. Nice, simple, easy movements. And currently just flowing between the two. Looking down, which extent flexion, and then looking up, extension. So back and forth, flexion, extension, looking down, looking up. Good work. Just keep that going there a little bit longer. Nice, easy movements. Good. The next time you find yourself looking down, let's hold that position there and let gravity do its work a bit. So just letting the neck curl over, dropping down, and maybe feeling a little bit of a stretch down the back. Probably not a huge amount, but maybe just a little bit there. Let's ease out of it, doing a couple of looking up and downs. And then the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold that position. And if you, that might be fine. That might be enough of a stretch for you. If you want to take it further, first of all, let's close our mouth. That helps to stretch out the front of the neck. And then we can make it even more by putting the hand around about the sternum. That's the bone in between the rib cage there. And gently pulling downwards as we're looking up with our mouth closed. Ease out of it. Looking up and down again. Good. Let's go into our rotation now. So looking left and right. Back and forth between the two. Nice and gentle and controlled. Then next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position. Now this might be enough of a stretch for you, and that's fine. If not, we can take our left hand, we're looking to the left, so take a left hand onto the right collarbone and gently pull down. You may need to change the position. I tend to find on top of the collarbone, using sort of the back of my thumb, that kind of helps to get that stretch through this rotated movement. Ease out of it again, looking left and right. And the next time you find yourself looking to the right, let's hold that position now. We'll take our right hand onto the left collarbone area and gently pull diagonally downwards towards the left armpit. That's looking to the right. Right hand on the left collarbone, gently pulling it down towards the left armpit. And ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights again. And then let's go into our lateral flexion. That's where you bring one ear to one shoulder, to the other shoulder, back and forth between the two. Nice, easy movements back and forth, one ear to one shoulder, then to the other. Yeah, the next time we find our left ear on our left shoulder, let's hold that position there. And if you want to take it further, this may be enough. If you want to take it a bit further, we can drop that right arm down, increasing the stretch, or you can bring it behind you as well. Let me show you from behind. So left ear's on the left shoulder, the right arm's either on the lap, holding it down, or holding it behind. Let's ease out of it, doing a couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find your right ear on the right shoulder, let's hold it there. And again, either this will be enough, or you need to put the arm down, or you can put an arm behind you. And let's ease out of that one there. Good. Alrighty then, let's go through the rest of our spine. We'll start with flexion extension here as well. So extend through, flex down, extending like a high jumper going over a pole, curling over like a shrimp. Back and forth between the two. It doesn't have to be a huge range of motion on this. Just doing what you can is really important. Okay, let's ease out of that one. Let's go into our rotation now. So rotate around to one side, rotate around to the other, and we'll go back and fourth between the two. And let's do some lateral flexion, bending down to one side, to the other, back and forth. Good movement, everybody. And let's go into a bit of an extra one here. Imagine we're in a whirlpool. We're going around. Change direction. And give that a little bit of a shake off there. Good. All right, let's have a little hydration break and then we'll join back in with the session in just a second whilst we do that. Watch, I've run out already, so I'm going to head quickly to put some more in. Okay, really good work so far, everybody. Some good movement, some good stretches. For this next bit, hopefully you've got some sort of desk, table, chair, windowsill, something around about either the height of your knees, even a little bit higher up to your chest height. Let's say something that's just solid and it's not going to move very easily. With this, we're going to have both hands on it. As you can see here, I've got both hands on, and I'm just going to edge myself backwards here and try and lay down into it. Now, some of you may struggle to get into this position, and my alternative is as well, if you don't have anything like that, you can use a wall. So you can just put your hands up on the wall as well, and just on a window. And essentially just going to relax into that position, really. So just relax into it. Some of you are going to be able to bend all the way down, so you're basically parallel to the floor. Some of you will be more sat up. That's absolutely fine. Just get yourself in a position where you feel fairly comfortable. Good. And feel free to adjust around whatever you need to get into a position that works for you. But now what I want you to do is try and get your hands closer together in the middle. So you're almost like you're trying to dive forwards with the hands and you've got them together. Try and get those biceps as close to your ears as you can. And you're in a streamlined position here. Now, this is a position that is going to be very difficult for some, very easy for others. And there's so many different factors that come into this. So don't worry if you can't get into that position. Just get to the best you can. So hands out in front, relax down forwards and as close. Bring those hands together, either one on top of each other or as close as you can get to that position. Now, this could be a bit of pressure on your tummy, so if you need to come out of it a second, that's fine. Just come out of it and go back into it whenever you're ready to. Also, it can give you a bit of a head rush as well, so just make sure you are doing the best you can here with that. Okay, so we got both our hands almost together in the middle. Now what we're going to do is creep both of them over to the left side. So both of them over to the left while still holding on to what you're holding on to the best you can. And trying to keep yourself pointed forwards as you do so. You're going to feel a bit more of a stretch over the right side now. That's good. Let's ease out of that and go over to the right side now. And you should feel more of a stretch down the left side as you do this. And again, easing out of it there. Good. All right, let's sit up a second. We're going to go back into it in a second here. We're just giving ourselves a little break. And as we do so, let's just do some shoulder rotations just to ease out of it. So what we're doing there is helping to stretch out the muscles within the shoulder joint. There's quite a few muscles that allow us to bring the arms up above our head. However, for some of you, even just going against gravity is a bit of a challenge, and that's okay. That's why we use over the wall or table, or I've got the back of a sofa here. And it allows us to get our arms in those positions whilst being assisted, essentially, so that we're not having to fight against gravity. We're using something to help get us into that position at least the best we can. The more we can do this, combined with some strength work, cardio work, all that kind of good stuff, the more we'll be able to get a good range of motion to get things above our head. So the aim here is to improve our range of motion, and looks like you're doing very well so far. So good work. Let's get back into the position, but we're going to change it up a little bit now. So you might want to watch for the first one. So I'm going to take one hand and leave it on there, and the other hand I'm going to point down, and then the best I can I'm going to raise it up to the side and then bring it back down again. So I'm going to raise it up to the side and then bring it back down. Now you probably, at the best, you're not going to get much past parallel. I'm kind of pointing about 30 degrees up from parallel, and then bring it back down, and then again repeating through. Good. If you are struggling with this, feel free to bring yourself close to whatever you're holding as well. Get a bit more stable, and then do that rotation. And this doesn't have to look perfect. We just want a nice stable base, arm down to begin with, rotating out to the side, and then bringing it back down. We don't need to worry about lifting our head up too much. That can just naturally rotate with our spine. I don't need you necessarily looking up towards the sky. That's good work. Let's carefully swap our arms over. So now the other one's on there, and we put one arm down to the floor, then rotate round. Now you may find that one side rotates a lot easier or a lot more range of motion, and that's fine. For me, this right side definitely gets more range of motion, which makes this a lot easier. And for me, that's mainly down to the paralysis rather than any sort of muscular imbalance or muscular imbalance caused by myself. It's caused by the injury. Good. Let's ease out of that. Good work, everybody. Alrighty, we're going to take it on same sort of concept there, but we're going to go into a movement that we've already done in the past. We're going to put one arm on our lap. We're going to point to the sky. Then we're going to come down and thread the needle through the gap that we've created. Don't worry if you're confused here. I'm going to do this from another angle, which should hopefully help. So I've got my arm, my forearm on my lap. The other arm's going to point up to the sky, and then it's going to come down, thread the needle through the gap, point to the other side, and then come back and forth between the two. All of these movements are helping with rotation. the one we just did on the sofa or table or whatever you're using, and this one as well. This is a really useful skill to have, and I'll point it out in a second. Let's change over to the other arm now. So whichever arm on the forearm on the lap, pointing up, thread the needle, pointing through, back and forth between the two. Nice work, everybody. Good. Let's ease out of that. That one's particularly great. And those rotation ones are really helpful because there's going to be a lot of times where, we're reaching for stuff behind us, we're reaching stuff up high, we're coming across our body to reach stuff, whatever it may be. One thing I always think about when I'm doing this is like if you're in a supermarket and there's something behind you, you have to quickly grab it and bring it onto your lap, or if it's up high, all of these are rotations. So the more we can get some good mobility in this, the more useful and more protected you are because you're used to doing that movement you are when you do those in real life. So these are really important skills, not just for helping us to relax and unwind, but also to help us in real life with our real life mobility. And that's why these are mindful movement sessions. It's all about being mindful, doing the movement, and getting results that help us in our everyday life. Good. All right, let's have a little hydration break again, and then we're going to go into the next bit. Okay. We could go back to our breathing again to begin with. So nice deep breaths going in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you do it this time, let's sit up nice and tall. Really feel those lungs inflate as you inhale. And as you breathe out, let those shoulders relax down. So sitting up nice and tall. Imagine almost like you got a piece of string pulling you upwards towards the sky through the top of your head. And the way you're sat as well is really helpful in this, sitting in a nice, almost like you feel like you're in a quite a powerful position, chest up and out, hands down by our side, nice deep breaths in. Yeah, let's keep that going. As we do so, we breathe in, bring the hands up. As you get to shoulder height, we're going to turn them over and breathe out, push down. That's it. Keep it going there. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Raise the arms up as you breathe in. Push them down as you breathe out. Keep the breathing going, but now as we breathe in, we bring it up. As you breathe out, we push out to the side. And then bring it down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax down to the side. Yeah, now as we do it, bring them up and push them forwards. Now you may struggle a little bit with your balance here as you do so. If that's the case, breathe in and then just do one arm. And then as you breathe in on the next one, just swap that arm over. If you're able to do both arms though, feel free to do that. I know I certainly struggle with it, so I'm going to do alternating. Good work, everybody. Now, as we do it, we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to push the hands up. As we breathe out, around and down. Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, let's just do some nice, easy shoulder rotations. And change direction. Good. Okay, so breathing's kind of been a bit of a theme today, and we're going to keep that going into this last 15 minutes. So all I want from you is to get in a nice, comfortable position. It doesn't have to be a great posture, just a really comfortable position that you can just use some good breathing in. Personally, I like to just lean forwards, just rest on my lap. That just helps me just to relax here. And when you're ready to, just do some deep breathing to begin with and start to close your eyes down. So we're going to do what we call box breathing. And here what we're going to do is breathe in for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and then hold it out for 4 seconds. You can almost imagine a box and each side does something different. It's either breathe in, hold the breath in, breathe out, or hold the breath out. And we keep repeating around that cycle until we're ready to move on. So when you're ready to, just start breathing normally if you're not already. And we'll start with a nice big breath in. Are you ready? Off we go. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath now. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Now hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing normally again now, just nice, easy, relaxing breathing. So we're going to keep the breathing theme going here. What I want you to do is take a nice deep breath in. Keep breathing normally for now whilst I explain. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to try and hold the in breath for about 5 to 8 seconds. If you can do it a little bit longer, that's fine, but don't push it too far. We just want a nice, easy breathing exercise here. So nice big breath in and then hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. Again, feel like if you want to do on this, do in your own time as well, just somewhere between holding that breath in for 5 to 8 seconds and then slowly let the breath out. Don't just release it all at once. Breathe in and hold. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. That's good. Keep that going on this next one. If you can only do holding it for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, that's absolutely fine. Just do the best you can. Are we ready? Breathing in and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing out. Good. And again, return that breathing to normal there. Good work. Okay, we're going to move on to some meditation work now. We're in a much more relaxed state. We're just going to close down our senses, bring that focus in to begin with, and we are going to go for a forest walk here in our own mind. So to do this, we're going to rely on all of our senses, as we usually do here for these. And we're just going to put the focus, first of all, is to start creating our forest scene within our mind. It may be somewhere that we're familiar with. Maybe it's an amalgamation of different places we've been to. Maybe it's completely fantasy and we've never been there before, or whatever it may be. Just start to build up that image of your forest in your mind. Start to think about the trees, the colors, the bark, the sun coming through the leaves, what it looks like on the floor, whether there's a path, whether there's bushes down lower, whether there's wild animals around, whatever it may be. Just start to picture that scene, build it up within your mind, and get a really good understanding of your visual version of this scene. Yeah, let's start to bring in some audio to it as well. So in your own mind, just start to imagine some audio there. Maybe it's some wind rustling through the trees. Maybe the animals are making noise. Maybe it's a slight creaking of branches. Maybe there's leaves underfoot. They give a slight crunch. Whatever it may be, start to build it up. Get an idea. Yeah, let's start to bring in another sense now. Let's bring a sense of temperature in. So is it warm? Is it cool? Just start to imagine how you feeling that way, whichever way that temperature lies. Now let's bring in our sense of touch as well. You can start to touch the tree bark, the leaves, the plants, whatever it is that gives your forest scene life. Just start to imagine that. I like to imagine I've got a leaf between my fingers and I'm feeling it. Good work. we're going to slowly start to close those senses now, just one by one, bringing it down until there's nothing left there. Continue breathing. Keep your eyes closed here as well. Good. Now, as we bring this session to a close today, I want you to thank yourself for being here, for getting through this session, for staying focused, doing the movements, the breathing that was asked of you to the best of your ability. So give yourself a pat on the back, however you want to thank yourself for doing that, being here today and getting the most out of the session. And whenever you're ready to, you can start to sit up nice and straight, open up your eyes and bring it back to the room. Now, I have finished a little bit early today. That was quite earlier than I thought it would be. I've timed that wrong, unfortunately. But I will let you have this time to yourself, whether you want to do some more breathing, whether you just want to have relaxation, whatever you want to do in this next 5 minutes or so, I'll leave that for you to decide. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Hope you had a good session.